Hey there, loan officers. It's Scott Groves, head coach of Consolidated Coaching here with HomeIQ, reminding you before we jump into the coaching that HomeIQ solves 3 problems, helps you keep in touch with your previous client, gives you a monthly call list of who to call and keep in touch with, and gives you a value add service to call your realtors with. On to our coaching. So I get this all the time, and people say, hey, Scott, with HomeIQ, the property value is incorrect. And I will tell you, all of this data is just an amalgamation of all of the data that's available out there, similar to what Redfin or Zillow or other companies with public data and proprietary algorithms do to assess the value of a property. Now, if you have a multi-unit property, you have a property that's on the right side of Main Street instead of the wrong side of Main Street, it's on the right side of the tracks versus the wrong side of the tracks. There's some intrinsic value because it's on a hillside with a beautiful view. A computer algorithm cannot pick that kind of stuff up. So inevitably, every month when we send out 1,000 reports, 1 or 2 people will respond with, hey, Scott, this system says my house is worth $800,000. I know it's special. It's worth $1 million. There's a couple things that you can do. One, it's a great opportunity to have a conversation with a client. Quite frankly, I've thought about going into all my HomeIQ reports, putting every single one that the house is worth $1. So I just get 900 phone calls that month saying, hey, Scott, my house isn't worth $1. Oh, yeah, I know that. Let's have a conversation about what your house is worth. Hey, how's it going? How's the loan? What's new with you? Any future plans with real estate? Any excuse to reach out, right? It's kind of like that old saying, any publicity is good publicity, right? Bad press is still press. Well, it's the same thing here, right? If somebody is reaching out to you to let you know that they think you should update the value of their property, then just update the value of their property, right? Check out Redfin, check out Zillow, check out their original appraisal, use your own local specialized knowledge of the area, use the client's feedback about what just sold down the street or what they think it's worth, and you can go into any individual homeowner, any individual report, and you can update the value of the property. And then what the algorithm will do is it will work with that valuation from here on forward. So let's say, for example, you have a client with a very special piece of property. Maybe it's got a pool with a hillside view, and HomeIQ thinks it's worth $700,000. And from the conversation with the client and the feedback, and oh, by the way, another good excuse to call the realtor who originally referred you the deal, right? Call them and say, hey, Realtor Bill, I was just talking to client Susie, and she got this report from me, and it said her house was worth $700,000. I know she bought it for $750,000. We've seen a lot of appreciation, so we updated the value to $850,000. Good excuse to talk to the client. Good excuse to talk to the original referring realtor and ask for more business. And then what's beautiful about HomeIQ is it will use future valuation increases or decreases off of that new baseline value that you've put in. So for example, if the system was telling you that the house was worth $700,000, you knew it was worth $850,000. Next month, when the report goes out, let's say, for example, there's a 1% appreciation rate in that zip code, the property value report won't go back to the $700,000 that it was originally thinking. It will use your new $850,000 baseline plus the 1%. And in this case, send out a report to the client showing that the house is worth now $863,000. So you won't have to update this every month. You'll have to update it one time. The algorithm will know that you made a manual adjustment, and then it will update it from there in the future. So don't worry about uploading a massive amount of clients. Don't worry if your realtor say, well, what happens if the valuation goes out incorrect? No problem. Great opportunity, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor, for us to catch up with your database, to have a conversation with them about what values are doing in the neighborhood, to update it once, and then you can set it and forget it for all future reports.